Protocol 2 is sort of where the rubber meets the road, certainly with the long band, because this is where we start to understand the club's center of mass and how it relates to the hands and how the wrists play a huge role and often go unnoticed as the culprits of being a swing destroyer. If you follow my content over the years, you know I'm a freak about having good hands, getting your hands on the club nicely. Really, really important. It's not hard to do a Martin Chuck Google search and YouTube videos and so forth, and articles will pile up of me training you how to get your hands on the club nicely. Why is that important? Because we need to lever the golf club so the golf club can flee out with speed and predictability and consistency so your golf balls can go where you want them to go. That's huge. And ultimately the same ball speed off the face so they carry the same distance. I want you to have that sweet sense of pure centered striking, the perfect strike point. Super important. So now that we're going to get into developing a little longer swings, let's talk about how the club's center of mass. And from this camera down the line, you can see this pretty clearly. It's pretty obvious, this red connector on the golf club. If I have a radius and I have my very nice lead arm parallel to the ground position, I want you to take a look at this position. Trail leg still has some bend in it. I said still has some bend in it, because as you develop to lead arm parallel to the ground, this is a pushing motion into the ground that helps us turn our hips so that our arms have momentum to get to that position. So knee flex in a backswing is often increased and then pushed. Again, to develop this little exercise at a high level, there's my knee flex at address. To start my swing, you'll see good players often increase the flex a little so they can push their trail leg a little longer to help them develop that arm momentum to have this great position 3 or lead arm parallel in the backswing. And what you'll see here is my lead arm has a little angle relative to the target line. It's not, quote, straight back or out. It's certainly not pinned behind me. That's one of the beautiful things of doing this protocol with your swing trainer, is that all too often golfers hit fades, they hit slices, they try to fix that with a backswing. So what they do is they don't create any width, they create poor depth. Depth is everything this way, width is everything toward the camera, and it's often best seen when we look face on at the camera. This is a nice wide swing. From the down the line camera, this would be a deep swing, but what happens is people trying to fix their slice will pin their arms behind them trying to, quote, swing inside out. This is where the magic happens with your swing trainer, because you start to understand how the center of mass of the club works and how it orbits into a position to help you actually swing inside out correctly. That was the shocking thing about the development of this product, is that it trained so many people and it gave them that aha moment of how to actually swing inside out. They were doing it wrong probably their whole career. So when we go through this protocol, you will see as I go up to this push position of left arm parallel, I could accidentally or intently move the connector tumbled toward the target line. And you can see the band is against my right arm. And then from here, I could smother it into the ground or have typically a motion where I have to sort it out in the millisecond of a downswing. And that's where people really struggle. They take it back, they get pinned, and then they throw the mass toward the target line. The target line's the invisible line the ball's on. And you can see what happens with the band. It works over my arm, it's out of position. Now if we do this correctly, we have some width and we can move the band freely away from us as we unwind. So let's go ahead and talk about how this connector, where it's going to go from this point. The connector is going to feel like it works away from us, which from the camera perspective puts behind us and also provides a bit of slack in the downswing. That's the beauty of how something goes wide, stays taut, and then has some slack. That's a delivery position of the best players in the world, and I want you to have that same position. So as we talked about the magic of what good players do, and I use Rory McIlroy as an example, they have what we call their effectively wide swing circle, and that club's mass goes behind them. You can see the tension has come out of the band. There's a resistance to the top, strain and resistance that's necessary to learn. So I expect you to anticipate and embrace the resistance and the strain. You've never felt it before, most likely. Embrace it. This sort of circle is imperative. You're doing good work here, people. And then we can let this relax. And now you can see where that connector is. It's on or slightly behind my hands. So now the reward here is just a pivot that delivers an inside-out strike, not us forcibly trying to move the club out to right field. Again, if you watch this, the club goes behind us. Here's this little circle. It goes up and behind us, up and behind us, up and behind us. And you can do this little event, feel that motion, let that work into a golf ball. So I'm going to do this just from the left arm parallel to right arm parallel feel and hit a little shot and hold my finish. 1, 2, and 3. So I would say that strike quality wasn't great, but it was a functional learning feel. That's what we're going for. We're going for the commitment of working through this procedure. Use an aim stick, have certainty where your golf ball location is, waggle, waggle. This is a 10-ball set, lead arm parallel, keep tension on that band. That's what we're looking for. The tension will come out a little bit. You don't have to do anything drastic. Just let the tension flee a little bit and hit a little shot. Keep that structure and radius in place. Hold, hold, hold. Left arm parallel to right arm parallel. Really critical. You're doing a lot of good body work when you do this. Just like going to the gym and doing some band work. Same thing, we're just helping your golf game create new awarenesses, strength, flexibility, and structure. Let's do another. This is a 10-ball set. And again, if you're uninitiated with this, no shame in putting the ball on a tee. Feel this behavior. Let the golf club go parallel to the ground. Fight the good fight. We're trying to avoid the sensation of tumbling the golf club toward the target line. We're letting it flee away from us. Our pivot will deliver it. It'll get taut again, and we're going to hold our finish. I'll hit one more. This is how you start developing your swing through these 3/4 strikes. Waggle, waggle. Left arm parallel with structure. Hit a little shot. Hold, hold, hold. And then relax.